Welcome to the No New Friends podcast, the podcast for adults who love to laugh at adulting. In this episode, we discuss the really nice movie theater that I go to watch all of my Marvel movies. Then we discuss the movies that traumatized us as kids. And then finally, Chris had to get rid of some stuff because now he's getting a storage unit, but he's already hoarding an office, and he just had to get rid of some stuff. So he takes us on that journey. And now it's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. Excited, not so that you can have a better balanced diet and eat what you. I'm just excited for content.
I know. You. I say something like that something awful that happened to me, and Scott will be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that," but deep down, I know he's just so excited because it's just great content.
What Scott is the equivalent of the cameraman on Maury. Like, he's just waiting, and he's just gonna chase us backstage. He's like, "What happened? Oh, you're in an ambulance. Which one?" You just see him trucking behind.
I swear most of the bad stuff that happens to me these days is orchestrated by Scott.
I would like to think so. Scott, did you orchestrate the Sunrail issue that happened this evening?
I'll tell you what, I did do some research about something we were talking about a while ago, speaking about train delays, and that guy who did tragically lose his legs. Video surfaced of that accident.
No.
And if you zoom in, you can see a bald white guy pushing that guy on the train.
I can't. I hate you so much.
And now it's time for the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
That's right. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted number 1 by our friends and family. We are the podcast for adults who like to laugh at adulting. Please connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Check out our merchandise and join our Patreon. All of our links are in the show notes. It's that Linktree thing right there in the episode description. And any money that we make from Patreon subscriptions during the month of October and November will be donated to the Gina McReynolds Foundation. That's teamgina.org. Those guys are going to be with us on Sunday to tell us more about it. My name is Scott, and I am the host. And with me, as always, my co-host, I'm an architect for her pain, the queen of the Sunrail, Mary.
Hey!
And our producer, the scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
You can't handle the truth.
Very good. A little few good men in there.
Yeah, just a few.
Just a few good men. So, Chris, before we get to the topics planned, I have some exciting news for you.
Oh, let me hear.
This is, you and I have been waiting for this moment for about 2 weeks. Okay. And it's finally happened. The place we know as hell has frozen over. Mary watched the Spider-Man trailer today.
No way.
I did.
Wow.
Look, okay, here's the problem. If you would have told me that Dr. Stephen Strange was in the movie and or trailer, I would have watched it immediately, because we all know that secretly cigarette and change of underwear, y'all. I got a thing for Dr. Stephen Strange. I don't know. I will do something strange for a little bit of change,
Wow.
Actually for free. Actually for free in this case. Dr. Strange, I would. I don't know what it is, but
you're the only person I've ever heard that has a crush on Doctor Strange.
100%, yes.
Like, you were alone in that party.
Doctor Strange over Thor.
Wow.
I would pick Thor. I would definitely pick Thor.
Yeah, I think I would pick Thor as well.
Yeah.
I would take this down a road that is not appropriate, so we're gonna move on. And I would tell you why I would pick. Let's go.
Maybe on break, and that's something that our Patreon members can see.
Private videos for the Patreons.
Right. Now, Mary, are you watching Marvel What If at all? The 30-minute animated series?
Okay, so here's the thing. Like, I'll watch documentaries and things with my kids while I'm up and moving about. And then I turn that on when I go and lay in bed for my, time to relax and just watch whatever. Here's the problem. I fall asleep in about 15.2 seconds.
Heard.
So okay. I haven't had the opportunity to really digest a lot of it because I just haven't had time. But
understood.
I've tried.
Okay.
Multiple times. So yes and no.
Episode 4 is a Doctor Strange episode, and
I'm on it. I binge it tonight.
So, well, you need to watch the first 3 episodes before you get to episode 4 to understand kind of the premise of the show. But episode 4 makes the Spider-Man trailer make some sense.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't watched that one yet.
Me. I'm happy about it already.
Well, it's one of the best. No, it is the best episode of that show so far.
What's your rankings of the episode so far? Just real quick.
Okay, so the first episode with Agent Carter,
yes,
I'd give out of a 10. I'd give probably about a 6.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair rating. I'd give it a 6 as well.
The one, what if T'Challa was Star-Lord? I'd probably give another 6.
See, I really like that episode a lot, and I was just dying laughing at the Thanos when he would explain his plan. Like, that sounds a lot like genocide.
Yeah, well, it's not really genocide.
It's efficient.
Exactly. Then episode 3, I'd give an 8.
I got spoiled on that one, and I think it would have been a lot better. I'm not going to say anything to spoil Mary, but I knew who was doing what was happening. Before the episode. I
figured it out, and I still enjoyed it.
Okay. I just wish I didn't know because I feel like once I figured it out, it would have been cooler. But that was a very good episode.
Episode 4, because like Mary, I love Doctor Strange, not in a sexual way like she does, but a Doctor Strange is one of my favorites. And this episode, because now we're now getting into the whole point of the show.
Right.
And that seems to always happen with these Disney Plus series. It takes 4 episodes. This episode was a 10.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It was amazing. I can't wait for you guys to watch it.
Yeah, I'm going to watch that soon. And I'm really excited for the one tomorrow, too, because it's very I'm getting in the mood for fall, and you got the zombie episode tomorrow.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one.
So, I love the Marvel movies, and, part of being an adult, every once in a while, you get to treat yourself to a movie.
Yeah.
Okay. So over the weekend, we went and saw Shang-Chi.
Mm-hmm.
You got to understand about us. We don't go to the movie theater unless it's an epic movie.
Right.
But I got to tell you, the movie theater that we go to, we've been seeing some of the dumbest stuff that I saw Cruella there, which wasn't a dumb movie, but I've seen movies there that I normally would wait until they come out on streaming or something like that. But this movie theater, Chris, I sent you a picture.
Oh my gosh. It was, first of all, it was so beautiful and so bougie. I thought it was your home theater. I didn't know that you left the house. But I'm zooming into these pictures, Mary. There's freaking lamps. There's lamps in between the seats. They have serving trays.
Which one is this? The Horizons West? Is that
Hamlin?
Yeah. Oh, that is nice. That is fancy. They have full menus too. They come and they do a nice fondue. They do a tableside guac. I heard. I don't know.
No, it's not like that, but they do have a full menu. Amazing food. It's not just movie snacks. It's amazing food.
Scott sent me a picture of pretzels, and it was the pretzels look more beautiful than most of the things I eat for dinner. The presentation on the pretzels was even amazing.
Yeah, they're amazing. I just sent them to you, Chris. I sent Chris this picture, and he goes, "What are you in the effing Taj Mahal of movie theaters?"
Wait, hold on. So this is once again your side text without me.
Oh, because it was a Shang-Chi text.
It was a Shang-Chi. It was all about Shang-Chi.
Yeah, okay, yes. Because I don't watch Marvel. You're right.
Well, you don't. It takes you a while.
Mary, it took you 2 weeks. 2 weeks to watch the Spider-Man trailer.
You told me that there was Dr. Stephen Strange in
it. If you get it, if you're as excited about Marvel movies to get a text from me, hey, I'm going to see Shang-Chi.
I would have been excited about that. I watched Black Widow before you did.
You watched all of them before me because
okay, so what that makes 0 sense. You make 0 sense. I'm all done. Good night.
Stop. Here we go. So I'm describing this theater to Chris, and Chris says, he goes, what'd you say? It's funnier when you say
they don't even let me. They make me butter my own popcorn at my movie theater. And these people are, I zoomed into the picture and I saw someone looking like Alfred delivering Scott his his pretzel sticks.
The popcorn comes in a metallic bowl. It's not like a throwaway cardboard thing. It's a metallic bowl. All the cups are like hard plastic. Like it.
Funny you say that, Scott, because I just went to my movies the other day and they even downgraded the popcorn buckets to bags again. We're back to bags.
Oh.
And they gave me the butter. I kid you not. I guess the butter machines were down. And like a cheese dipping cup.
Yeah.
First of all, I get a large popcorn, right?
Chris, I'm going to stop you here. Was it a 2-ounce souffle or a 4-ounce? Scott will know what I'm saying. Was it little or was it the bigger guy?
Oh, it was huge. And
yes.
and they didn't give me one of them. They gave me 2 cups of butter. Well, they were trying to murder me in cold blood.
Yes, please. 14. Thank you.
And then I'm thinking, how does one put butter on their popcorn out of a cup? So I'm like trying to I got a little straw and I started doing the little thing where you put the finger on top and you drop it, you drop it, you drop it. And then I just look like a weirdo. So I started pouring it on and then instant indigestion after the first bite of popcorn. Instantly.
Sounds about right. Here's the thing. I just prepare myself. I know that it's going to be a day of terror. I know it, but I want to look like I put on a fresh layer of lip gloss with each bite of popcorn. Like that's what I want. I think that deep down inside, I probably weigh 422 pounds if I were to guess. And it's mostly just because of movie theater popcorn. Pour all of it on there. Life will be better for you.
It was not better for me for that hour and or 2 hours of the movie I was watching.
On.
I didn't pre-Pepto either. I didn't think I'd need to. I'm usually more responsible.
Pre-Pepto, that's your own problem. That's your own fault. Don't blame the popcorn, buddy. That was you.
My medicine grab bag was at home. It was still packed away from my last vacation. I was a mess that day. And Emily wasn't there. When Emily's there, she doesn't let me put butter on the popcorn.
Hey, so while I have you here, we're talking about our ailments. Do you take like omeprazole or anything like that? You take any any pump inhibitors that you use that?
I do have to put a pin in something about our ailments because I did send away for something. No, I used to take Prilosec, but that was years ago, which is even more embarrassing because I was like 20 years old taking Prilosec. Yeah, the same medicine that like middle-aged men use. I was taking, but no, I've graduated from Prilosec to just deep spiraling depression. When I eat, I just deal with the burning acid in my esophagus.
Well, let me recommend.
Oh my God.
I recommend a pump inhibitor. Let me tell you something.
A pump inhibitor. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, well, that's like the scientific term, but like omeprazole is the one I take. It's fantastic.
Emily, this is the stuff that Emily comes to me when she thinks I'd be excited about something. She comes home. I found something really great for us. Oh, I'm thinking like, what is it? I'm kind of excited. It's Labor Day sale for this website that sends you a do-it-yourself food sensitivity kit.
No, stop it.
And we dropped $200 on a food sensitivity kit. So now I'm going to see what I'm actually sensitive to. We're going to prick our fingers. And we're going to prick each other's fingers. I can't stab myself. Can't do that. Just can't do it. So we're going to prick each other's fingers. No, I don't think so. I never tried, but I don't think I could.
How quickly do you get the results on that?
I think like 3 to 4 weeks. I don't think it's very long. But due to COVID, it could be just like everything else.
Right. I was hoping it'd be 3 to 4 minutes because then we could do that on air.
The list would probably be too long of sensitivities. It would have to be a bonus episode.
Well, but here's the thing. You're going to need to read those results to us live on air.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Thank you.
I'm really excited for it too. There was a $100 one and there's like a $160 one that gave you like stuff that I don't even eat. So I'm not going to know if I'm sensitive to Brussels sprouts, but hey, as often as I eat Brussels sprouts, wasn't going to pay the extra $75 or whatever it was for. But the sad part about all this is how excited I am to get these results back. That's the sad part about it.
I'm excited, not so that you can have a better balanced diet and eat I'm just excited for content.
I know. You I say something like that something awful that happened to me, and Scott would be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that," but deep down, I know he's just so excited because it's just great content.
Scott is the equivalent of the cameraman on Maury. Like he's just waiting, and he's just gonna chase us backstage. He's like, "What happened? Oh, you're in an ambulance. Which one?" You just see him trucking behind. That's Scott.
I swear, most of the bad stuff that happens to me these days is orchestrated by Scott.
I would like to think so. Scott, did you orchestrate the Sunrail issue that happened this evening?
Listen, I told you guys a couple episodes ago, okay, that I wake up every morning and I pray to the podcast gods that something funny happens to you guys, or me or whatever, so that it could be shared and made fun of because it's great content.
Scott's bottling up air down in Florida and sending to me, hoping that he sends COVID up to me.
No, I don't know. That's terrible. But allergies, I will. I will send you some allergies.
No, he's just like air darting it to you.
Yeah.
A new variant. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is yet.
It's the podcast variant.
No.
My life became miserable ever since I started this podcast. All these bad things happened to me. I think that
your life is in a better place since you started this podcast. Okay, you signed up for Target.
This is true. There's been benefits as well.
I don't know what else we've made better, but you're welcome for that. I mean, you met 2 new friends on the No New Friends podcast.
I'll tell you what, I did do some research about something we were talking about a while ago, speaking about train delays, and that guy who did tragically lose his legs. Video surfaced of that accident.
No.
And
what?
And if you zoom in, you can see a bald white guy pushing that guy on the train.
I can't. I hate you so much. I got so excited, Chris. You are the worst.
And Mary in the background, stomping her feet.
Yeah.
I cannot.
We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back. No New Friends podcast is now using Nikki Podcast Preparations Incorporated, which is a podcast management consultant agency of services that helps independent podcasts obtain more plays, downloads, guests, sponsors, and a bunch of the legwork behind the microphone when it comes to podcasting. CEO Nick can be contacted via Twitter or Instagram at NikkiPPINC. And if you tell him that the No New Friends podcast sent you, we'll both get a 25% discount. Nikki has helped accumulate millions upon millions of downloads, tens of thousands of dollars in sponsorships, celebrity guests, and much more. So just shoot him a direct message to get your podcast growing.
Do you like Disney? Do you love finding out fun facts about your favorite attractions or restaurants? Then you must try Diz Hiz, the Disney History Podcast. Joe, Alex, and Jen will keep you entertained as they deep dive into all things Disney. Visit DizHiz.com or follow us on all social media at DizHiz65. We even have a YouTube channel. Just search Diz Hiz anywhere, and I hope you give us a listen.
Hey, New Friends listeners, if you're anything like me, you don't have the desire or time to clean your own house. That's why I've been using I Believe Services for the last 5 to 6 years. They are your one-stop shop for all of your cleaning needs. They do commercial, house cleaning, vacation homes, post-construction, party cleanup, deep cleaning, move-in or move-out, pressure washing, laundry, inside cabinets, fridge, oven, and much more. Call them today, 407-928-4595. Check them out on Facebook or their website, IBelieveServices.us.
Hey, this is Craig Brooks with Tasty Trivia, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. If you listen to us on Apple, please give us a 5-star rating and review. Please join our Patreon, and remember, during the month of October and November, we will be donating all of our money earned on Patreon to the Gina McReynolds Foundation. That's www.patreon.com/No New Friends podcast. Now, right on the break, you guys were talking about something that I tuned out for, but it was about like things you did as a kid.
Yeah.
Things you did as a kid or read as a kid or watched as a kid, and how it made you feel then versus now. So I went on the Diz Hiz podcast this week. We did the history of Captain EO, which was a super good time. And Joe from Diz Hiz is really into this television show, Turner and Hooch, on Disney Plus.
Joe has awful taste in TV shows and movies, and I hope he hears this.
So here's the thing.
So it's a TV show based off of
the movie. The Tom Hanks movie, Turner and Hooch. So I told Joe, I cannot watch this television show. He's like, why? It's great. I'm like, because I have a soul. Spoiler alert, the dog died in the movie. Like that scene traumatized me as a kid. And as a result, I cannot watch movies with an animal in it because I'm afraid that the animal's going to die. Like I have not watched because of Winn-Dixie or Marley and Me, just out of fear that the dog is going to die. So
we know that it will, though, in all of those movies. It's not really a fear.
It's what?
So, yes. No, in all of those movies, the main premise is that the dog dies. So,
I didn't know that in Turner and Hooch. I didn't know the dog was going to die.
There was no reason for the dog to die.
Exactly.
Scott, I'm in the same boat as you with dogs. I played this video game called Red Dead Redemption, and you're an outlaw and you kill people and stuff. Well, I went to go murder this guy and take all his money and stuff, just like a normal outlaw would in the Wild Wild West. Then his dog comes up and starts attacking me. I can't kill the dog. There was just no way I was killing the dog. The dog kills me in the game. Didn't know dogs could kill people. Dog kills me in the game and I lose. Couldn't kill the dog. And you know what? To this day, I wouldn't have changed a thing.
Look, we all have a moral compass that we have to live by.
I know. It's just the code. Part of my code. You have to have a code.
The dogs are supposed to be like the mountain people, though, where they just kind of walk around in circles in the simulation. They don't actually like interact with you.
I was shocked. I was shocked. This game was not modeled after the Catskills, for sure.
So, Mary, what movie as a kid, or what scene from a movie as a kid traumatized you? And I've got some more as well, but take us through it.
Okay, I have a few, and I'm just going to go through all of them, and we can circle back if we'd like. And revisit which ones. My dad's a super, super intelligent human, and wanted to pass that down to my sister and I. So, at a very young age, I would say I was probably 8, maybe. He had me watch the entire Roots series.
Oh,
I don't know if you've watched that before.
Great movie for children.
Yeah, a fine family fun. 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up.
Great actor in that movie. His name is O.J. Simpson.
Was O.J. in that?
Yes.
I know LeVar Burton was in it.
I couldn't tell because I was probably having a seizure somewhere. So that was one that really got to me. Maybe that's why the 2 things that bother me the most in the world are
injustice and humidity.
Humidity and injustice. Yes.
See, I listen and I pay attention. This is what best friends are for.
You know what? You get bonus points for that.
Thank you.
Slide that in the Venmo. You got it. Your bonus points.
I give you a hard time, but I care.
I appreciate that. I would say outside of that, so 2 opposite sides of the spectrum. One, like the emotional side, is on my girl when she says he needs like.
He can't see without his glasses.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, so here's why it really gets me. Like, it's always got, like, it got me as a kid, but now even like Dexter wears glasses, and like my kid, like I just like things like that. Like I'm like, oh my God, I can't. Oof. Even now, I can't handle it.
Oh my God, I forgot about that when I was thinking about this topic.
And like, oh my, my soul. Also, okay. Going back down a rough patch. Steel Magnolias.
As a kid? You watched that as a kid?
Yes. Look, my favorite movie growing up when I was like 10 or 9 was Revenge of the Nerds. I'm pretty sure my parents were just like, you know what? It's a great movie. Watch it. It'll be fine.
You really like tragedies.
You wonder where I get my sense of humor from. Here it is.
Wow. Holy crap.
So I watched Steel Magnolias as a kid and like things like that. Like
if Mary was growing up, if Mary grew up as a kid in like the 2000s, I'm sure, right after homework was done, Game of Thrones would be on.
Yeah. How do you think my kids are raised? I'm just kidding. I think that I may have like over calibrated and like maybe like overcompensated a little bit, and I may shelter my little ones a little too much, but I'm getting better at it. But outside of that, so like scary movie realm, for the longest time, I was afraid to sleep in my bed because I thought somebody could get underneath it. And from Friday the 13th, once again, not appropriated.
As a kid, Mary.
I know, in the words of Dexter, unappropriated. So after they get done banging in the like cabin, and they get up, the guy's laying in bed, and the thing comes up through the bed through his neck. I thought about that way too much. Like I slept on the floor until I was probably 12 because I was afraid somebody was going to stab me through my
That's what
bed.
Premarital sex does to you. Kills you right on the spot.
Yeah.
Wow. So when I was thinking of this topic, I really thought that the direction we were going to go on this is like the horse drowning in the swamp in Neverending Story. That
was rough too. Yeah,
that was right. Yeah, that's nothing to you compared to Friday the 13th. Like instead of Saturday morning cartoons, Mary's watching like Freddy versus Jason.
That wasn't out yet, but I like to think that I was that young. No, I think that my parents just introduced me into like, adult type of cinematic features at a younger age, which is fine. I handled it fine. Look at me thriving, kind of surviving. But I have great taste in movies now, but there are those select handfuls that really just like, I cannot. But on the opposite side, scenes that get me to where I'm like, oh, because I'm so choked up. My favorite movie of all time, everyone listening, here is your, this is embarrassing for me to even say, my guilty pleasure and favorite movie is You've Got Mail. And at the end, when Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan meet in Central Park.
I was hoping it'd be you.
Oh, God, stop. I will cry. I'll do it.
How about this? Grief is just love persists.
Nope. Stop, sir. You stop. That too. Also that. I'm an emotional human. I can't help it. You think that I would be completely I would have no sensitivity because of what I've experienced, but it's fine.
Chris, what movies are nightmares made of for you? And, just growing up and you're a lot younger than me, you're a little bit younger than Mary. What kind of...
A lot younger.
Like, again, for me, back to Never Ending Story, that mean, like, black cat dog looking thing that was in the cave, that thing traumatized me. Or the tunnel scene in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Is it raining? Is it snowing? Is a hurricane a-blowing?
I have weird traumas to movies. I can guarantee you that what I tell you, no one has ever worried about in their life. So the anxiety that I deal with today stemmed from somewhere, and looking back, I didn't know what it was back then. Now I totally know what it was back then. So there's 4 movies that stick out to me. 5 if you include Super Bowl 39. But taking that one off the list. Taking that one off the list. Coming in at number 1, Artificial Intelligence. Why was I afraid of Artificial Intelligence? Because
that's the movie with Haley Joel Osment.
It is a movie with a robot kid.
Okay.
And the robot kid is a robot kid. And he outlives his mom and then needs to bring his mom back to life. I had this weird fear when I was younger, and it might have been because we were in that like era where cloning was a thing.
And yes, it was Haley Joel Osment, by the way.
There we go. So cloning was a thing back then. So all these weird thoughts would go in my mind. Watching this movie, I thought I was going to turn into a robot and outlive my mom. So that one had me shaking on the floor. That was an actual reaction in the movie. Coming in at number 2, a movie called Raise Your Voice with Hilary Duff. Pretty sure Hilary Duff was nominated for an Oscar for that movie. Got a 15% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I'm pretty sure that was the one. That movie, in the first 5 minutes, Wait,
I'm going to stop you right there, sir. Did you not have the same Rotten Tomatoes IMDb rule then as you do now in your household? Like, you would never let Emily watch such a movie.
So I was young, and my mom brought this home from Blockbuster. So it was nothing that I could. So in the first 5 minutes, a brother gets killed in a car accident. And since I'm a brother, I started dry heaving. So that was another one that traumatized me.
That is your fate.
Coming in at number 3, the cartoon Disney movie Atlantis. In that movie, there's this switch that turns off gravity and people float away. My palms sweat when I go into buildings that you look up and it's really high, because now my fear of heights goes both ways because of that movie.
Chris was traumatized by American Beauty with the bag floating around. It could decapitate a bird or something.
Oh yeah, when balloons start to fly away from people. Oh, terrible. Coming in at number 4. And this particular scene traumatized me so much. And people forget that this scene exists, because when I was talking to it with the Diz His guys, they didn't even know this scene that existed. E.T. dying in a river.
Yes.
Traumatized the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why. Did I think that oxygen was going to become poisonous for me and I was going to start to die in a river? I have no idea. But I specifically remember him pale, keeled over, because that movie was one of my favorite movies growing up. It's funny because as much as it scared me, is as much as I enjoyed it.
And that's a scary movie as a kid.
It's a terrifying movie.
A lot of things that you'll enjoy in life will scare you, but you may like them. I
mean, that's why I kind of liked it, because it scared me, but I enjoyed the hell out of it as well. But watching E.T. die in that river, traumatized. To this day, when that scene comes on, they come in the big like hazmat suits and they scoop them up. Oh my gosh, scared the hell out of me. Yeah, E.T. was definitely number 1 on my list for movies that traumatized me. And E.T. is one of my favorite movies. This day. Maybe it's because I love being in pain.
What else you got?
That's all for me. That was definitely the top 4 traumatizing movies. I was never scared of like horror movies or anything, because I didn't really believe in that stuff.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and I didn't start watching horror movies until much later in life. You know, Mary came out of the.
You mean you weren't in 3K watching, you know,
Pet Sematary or something on like
Elm Street?
Right. No. Turner and Hooch messed me up pretty good. You know, like I said, Neverending Story, Willy Wonka in that one scene. I'm trying to think of other My Girl. I completely forgot about My Girl. And I'm a big sap. You know, I can't see Titanic without the opening credits starting, and I'm a blubbering idiot.
I think Titanic is the most overrated movie of all time.
Oh, you're right. Especially now.
I hate it.
I mean, man, there's a lot. So there's one, as an adult, like I haven't even watched this whole movie because I can't make it past the first like 15 minutes. P.S. I Love You.
My God, yes.
I can't make it. I've never made it past the first like 15 minutes of the movie. I can't.
Is that the saddest movie you've ever seen? What's the saddest movie you've ever seen? I can't even name one. I've never cried during a movie.
Oh, I would have to say P.S. I Love You or Ghost. The very first time I saw Ghost, and I was younger, I was in probably elementary school, maybe a little bit older. I remember we rented it from Blockbuster. My mom and my sister and my cousin, we were watching it all together. And they got their box of tissues out. And I'm like, you guys are idiots. Like this, you know, blah, 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 making fun of them. By the end of this, I am just a mess.
It's sad, man.
Oh, it's really sad.
Oh, My Girl is on the list of saddest movies ever made.
Oh, for sure.
Right now, like, and it's not,
Kid deaths are the worst.
Oof, man.
Old Yeller.
No.
I mean, like the fact that we had to watch, like that was a Disney movie. I had to watch that as a kid with I'm having to shoot the dog.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I think too, like, let's just revisit things that maybe it wasn't sad, but like, man, like introspective, like the movie Soul that came out from Disney, like that
made you think.
Like, that made me think, but that I cried a lot, man. That was like a thing for me. Whew, that was a mover.
Very traumatic for me. And Chris, you could probably relate to this.
Okay.
Since we're kind of hoarders and all that. The ending of Toy Story 3.
Oh, you know what? That was the closest I've ever gotten to crying during a movie. I'm not gonna lie. That was because I felt that, Scott. I felt that.
I'm gonna cry right now. When I was unpacking my storage unit, I found my stuffed animals from like as a kid. I'm like, okay, I got to get rid of these. I didn't get rid of them. I can't get rid of them.
Can't.
I've never met a toy or stuffed animal that I got rid of. Like I love them all and they will be with me for forever. And the fact that Andy had to donate like
that was, and it was even harder for me because Andy was like growing up, like that was my age. Like, so when he was going off to, school, like that was me.
Oh.
So I was like, I could never. And that's why I never have. That's why I have, that's why I just bought a storage unit the other day. I'm following in your footsteps, Scott.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And that's a little bit of a teaser going into segment 3 because Chris let me in on something right before we started recording that I cannot wait for him to share with us. Mary, you and I are going to have to be here for him for some therapy. Chris got rid of some things today, and we're going to talk about that when we return. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back.
What is it that you do here? Merchandising.
Merchandising?
Merchandising. Merchandising. Merchandising.
That's right. The No New Friends podcast now has merchandising. Please visit the merchandise link in our link tree. That's link, linktr.ee/No New Friends podcast. Or you can go directly to public.com/user/NNF. Get your No New Friends merchandise today.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Remy from Remy's Roundtable alongside my dangerous co-host Chris. Guys, our podcast is pretty much all about what is going on here in the beautiful state of Florida. We cover your theme park news, the rumors, and of course, guys, we bring on some local celebrities such as the 5-Minute Professor from Real Radio 104.1. So guys, don't go anywhere and stay tuned and listen to this episode of the No New Friends podcast.
Hey guys, comedian James John, and you are listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. As always, check out our merchandise. We've got a lot of really cool, fun stuff. I just got my mask in the mail today. Got cell phone cases, coffee mugs, you name it, we've got it, except there's no hats. The link is right there in that Linktree link in the episode description. Now, right before break, kind of teased that Chris went through probably some trauma today. Speaking of traumas, you said you were downsizing and getting rid of stuff. So what's going on? Talk to me. We're here for you.
So what's going on is 1 week ago from today marked 3 years of Emily and I living in this apartment. This apartment is very, very small apartment. You accumulate things over time. And I've just so happened to accumulate things over the 26 years of my life. That's my problem is I accumulate and I never get rid of.
Some would call it accumulate or collect. We call it hoard.
So it's a very loose term.
Fine.
Yeah, hoarding is a loose
collector of, what'd you say, obscure?
Of unique obscurities. Yes.
Yes, that's it.
It's gotten to the point where it's like you look at my apartment looks like a mosaic. Like you just look at it and there's just stuff everywhere. And I'm buying new things. And then the last 6 months, I started this eBay business. So the eBay business has infiltrated the house. So now it's not only my unique obscurities, it's other people's unique obscurities as well. So there's only so many clown lamps and Coca-Cola figurines.
First of all, clown lamps are not allowed.
No, that one I got rid of real quick. I did put that in my sister's room until she noticed, which didn't take very long. So Scott, it's time to downsize. Okay. It is time to do some long overdue cleaning. Today, I turned a new page and I feel like a new man. And you know what, Scott? I'm not going to lie. As hard as I thought this was going to be, it feels good. It feels good.
Good.
Today, here's the biggest thing I did today. So, because if I panned my camera around, you look at this room like, wow, this guy is a minimalist. This guy, lives by his own means.
Look at you.
But then if I turn the camera to my living room, you'd see all the stuff that I took out of this room and just put into that room. So it's getting closer to the door.
From one room to another. It's
getting closer to the door, and that door will then transfer to the other door, which is the door to my new storage unit. Listen, we're transferring.
Hold up. You just said the door to your new storage unit. Is your storage unit in your house?
It is not. I purchased a storage unit because we have an office for the transportation company that I was storing my things and that I'm selling on eBay.
You're hoarding at an office too.
Not my own personal things, but I've outgrown the office there. So I had to purchase a storage unit. So now I have 3 separate locations of unique obscurities.
Chris, these were the 2-hour episodes on hoarders. When they've hoarded their office and a storage unit, and then they own a motel too, and every single room at the motel is hoarded.
My mom and dad come back from the office. We just had a big inspection last week, so they had to, put all the paperwork away. He goes, Chris, is everything you have at the office listed on eBay? I was like, yeah, why? He goes, I couldn't pull out the chair to the desk.
Oh my God.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna start looking at the storage units then. So I got the storage unit, very homey there. I feel at home because I'm just amongst everybody else's collections. And so now I'm just going through my house and I'm trying to sell things. I'm trying to get some extra money. The wedding's coming up. I could use all the cash that I can have on hand. So also, whoever's listening to this, if you live in the tri-state area and want an illegal tortoise, please contact me. You can email us at nonewfriendspodcast@yahoo.com.
Whoa, no. That can be sent to your personal.
So, yes, I am trying to get rid of this tortoise because he kept growing. I bought him when he was small and he kept growing and growing and growing. And then I read his little pamphlet a couple years after I got him and realized that they live for 50 years, if not more.
Yeah. Haven't you ever seen Finding Nemo? They live to be like 200.
So that's racist, actually, Scott. I have a tortoise. You're talking about a turtle. Right?
I don't really know.
It's very offensive. No one's ever addressed it as a tortoise. They always say turtle. Very offensive. But anyway, Donatello is for sale. But I'm not selling him. I am gifting him because there's a loophole in the law where if you don't sell, it's fine. You just can't sell, but you can transfer. You can transfer the goods of illegal reptiles.
Yeah, no, you give the tortoise for free, but you sell the cage and everything that comes in it for whatever you want to charge.
Exactly. See, we're on the same page here. But it's getting to the point where I'm willing to pay somebody to buy him to take him for me. And it's hard because, like we were talking about last segment, we can't even give away toys and stuffed animals. You know how hard it is to give away a reptile that's been in my care for 6 years?
Right.
And I hate this thing. I don't even like this thing. But knowing that he'll be out of my care just pains me. So it's going to be tough. I'm trying to pawn him off of my neighbor. I started this little marketing ploy of getting rid of him because we went away to Outer Banks a couple weeks ago, and I asked my neighbor to watch the tortoise. He's a 10-year-old boy, and he came in, fed him lettuce, and then so I talked to his mom. I said, "Hey, does he want a tortoise?" And she goes, "Yeah, please don't say anything to him." So she goes, "I'm gonna have to take care of it." So I sent this big paragraph. He's very easy to take care of. You don't even have to feed him every day. He doesn't need clean, but every couple of months. So listen, the gears are turning, and my neighbor will then be in possession of an illegal reptile and not me. So by the airing of this podcast, please go to my neighbor down the street, please. The reptile is not at my house. All in all, Scott, it's freeing, and I highly recommend you getting rid of some of your things, but not for free. You have to sell it. The coolest thing about COVID was
the coolest thing about COVID.
Yes, the coolest thing. There aren't many cool things about COVID, but there are some bright spots that came out of COVID.
No, I think there's a few good things.
There is
this podcast.
Well, that too, but everybody's like, "Oh, COVID-15." I'm like, "Oh, finally, I can just like be okay with all of these snacks I've eaten every day since, I don't know, I was 12. But now here I am."
Yeah. See, and everyone panicked, but at the same time, everyone started to relax. COVID was so good for antisocial people. And I'm not antisocial, but I don't want to be social all the time.
Correct. Yes. Let me recharge these young batteries.
Exactly. Facebook Marketplace is much like Craigslist was back in the day, where you have to go somewhere, meet up with a person, talk to them, and then make a transaction. Now, like today, when I got rid of a golf bag and I put it on Facebook Marketplace. Facebook checks off you would not like to be in contact with this person to be safe. You check that off. I type in porch pickup only, throw the money under the mat or Venmo me. I don't even see the person. They come up, grab their stuff, give you the money, and they get out of here.
Love that. And I love that with like food delivery. I'm like, leaving on the doorstep. I'm afraid of COVID. I'm not. I just don't want to talk to you. I'm more afraid of human interaction.
100%. So I used to DoorDash before COVID. And people were like, "Wow, you're so lazy. You're not going to the place." Then COVID happened. Now everyone's DoorDashing. DoorDashing is the new thing now. Now I can DoorDash all the time. I DoorDash a place that's 30 seconds away from me. Now nobody even looks at me weird because that's it's the new normal.
You are being safe, sir. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. It grows the economy. It hurts nobody. It does. Helps everybody. Love that.
Well, here's the thing though. Have you ever accidentally opened the door to go do something else, but they were there?
Oh no. Oh no. I as soon as they pick up my food, I lock myself in the bathroom and I don't come out until they're gone.
Okay. So I'm the next level of lazy, and I also Instacart my groceries a lot.
Oh, we do that too. That's not lazy. That's
but sometimes it gives you a time frame. And if I'm not paying a lot of attention, I'm close enough to a Publix where I can connect to their Wi-Fi if I want. I'm very close. And sometimes I don't they'll say, "All right, they're on their way," but usually that can be a while. For me, it is not typically. And there's been a time or two or maybe 5 where I've gone to go out to my car for something and I open the door and they're there. And I don't. What am I, an owl? I don't. What just
almost
happened?
That look like when the guy went out on the court and then all of a sudden was face to face with Ron Artest.
Yes, I didn't know what to do. Correct. There was malice at my palace.
That's what she said.
Yeah, correct. I did, and so that's my life. Continue on, gentlemen.
So we're playing COVID, and we're catering it to us. So I'm still wearing a mask, and I'll probably wear a mask for the next 20 years because I just hate germs. So and the mask is now for show for me. I'm vaccinated. Get your vaccines, guys. The DoorDash is now overblown. I'm milking it. It reminds me of us pretending to to not want to be afraid of catching something and using these convenient services to the best of our ability. It reminds me of something that I saw at the thrift shop the other day. There was this guy walking around with a mask on, being very safe and, protecting other people, protecting himself.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Exactly. He goes over to the office section, and for some reason, somebody donated a recorder. That's a whole nother story. What psychopath is going to donate a recorder? Like a flute recorder.
I know exactly.
So so it's like what?
I'm so glad that I learned how to play hot cross buns in elementary school. I'm definitely using that today.
Well, Scott, actually, the guy that had the mask on could play hot cross buns because he pulled down his mask and started playing on the recorder, and then. And then he pulls down his mask, plays the recorder, puts it back, pulls up his mask, and walks away.
Nope, I cannot. Nope.
That's me when I tell people that I can't hang out because of COVID. That's the same. I take the mask off after I done FaceTiming them, and I just go to sleep. Yeah, it was so many thoughts ran through my mind because first of all, traumatizing. Because now there's a flute recorder thing that somebody just used. And do I tell somebody? Do I call the police? What do I do about this? Somebody just put this on their mouth.
Should I call the police?
And then
because Chris, anybody who decides to buy that's what we call Darwinism. Right? Whittle themselves out.
I want to track down the guy who donated this and arrest them as well. Why are you donating a recorder? Do you think somebody's that underprivileged?
That's real rude. I mean, there's been a time or two where my children have been gifted like kazoos, and I get so pissed off. But I will say, to kind of circle back to your wedding story from before, there was, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago that Dexter had a kazoo when he went next to Zoe's room and starts playing. He rickrolled Zoe with a kazoo outside of her room, and there was nothing she could do about it other than open the door and like try to like kill him. And it was the funniest thing that I think I've ever encountered in my days. But also, yeah, if you're selling a recorder, who's gonna buy one? You can buy them at the dollar store. Why would you do that? Was it like high quality? Was it like composite? Was it wood? What was it made out of?
It was public school issued with the strings on the end to see like, how many levels there.
Or like how many? Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was
with Bobby's name on it. Real quick before we end the show, Mary's got some stories from the Sunrail.
All rise as the Queen of the Sunrail, Mary, brings us stories from the Sunrail.
Okay, saddle up. I have a couple of just little short ditties that I'd like to send your way. So one, we talk about how I don't like to sit next to people or interact on the train a lot. Well, this time it bit me in the ass, guys. It was not good.
What was his name?
I've made some...
That's a good one.
So that was the crickets. Insert them here.
I liked it.
So, I'm sure you did. So I've made some friends like in my inner workings of where I work now, and like every now and then we'll all meet for lunch and whatever. So I was on the Sunrail, minding my own business, listening to my podcast probably about the science of an orgasm, which is why I could not watch the Spider-Man trailer. So I'm really sorry, but I finally did get around to that. So we met up with our little downtown friends for lunch the other day, and one of my acquaintances said, "Hey, do you ride the Sunrail?" And obviously I was like, well, I'm the queen of the Sunrail. Well, what?
Right? How did that? Yeah, we need to get you a little tiara to wear.
I think so, because people need to know. And she's like, I was sitting like diagonal from you, and I knew it was you, but I was afraid to say hello because I wasn't certain. And you just kind of looked like you didn't want to be approached. And I was like, it's working, guys. It is working. I am sending out the flares of repellent without even knowing it now. So now I feel like a jerk, though, because I do know her. And I did apparently have like really big like RBF on this one. And I'm real sorry about that.
I have a question, Mary, about that interaction. What's worse? Because I often think about this a lot. What's worse when you see someone in public that you're not sure if you know them or not? Saying hi to a stranger or not saying hi to the person? Because for me, it's saying hi to the stranger.
No, I think it's not saying hi back. I would feel worse if somebody said hi to me, even if I didn't know them, and not saying hi back.
If I think I know somebody, I immediately leave the store and I just wait until they leave the store and then I go back in.
I go and hide. Yes, unless it's someone that I really know and really want to say hi to. But if it's just someone that I know, I will go out of my way to avoid the situation because I'm like, what am I going to say past hi? And what if they don't remember me? And then I got to be like, because I look a lot different now than I did in high school, as sure, like a lot of people do, but I had a full head of gorgeous hair in high school. I had no beard. I had a 6-pack. I wasn't fat. I look a lot different now. So I have like, oh yes. And then with the masks, it's like,
oh, it's even worse.
First. Yeah.
It's even worse. If I come across somebody, like I came across somebody the other day and I was in the back of the store, no exit. And they were about to corner me. My go-to, I immediately called in a bomb threat. I didn't know what else to do.
There's no other option. You pull the fire alarm and you got to run. That's it.
Save me 5 awkward minutes. Fine. 2 to 3 years in prison. Who cares?
Yes. Okay, so I have one more from today, and I'm not proud of this. All right. So look, we were very, very delayed. Obviously, I was a little late to start recording, but we all know I have my train bag. It's got all my stuff in it. A lot of weird things are in there. I don't know sometimes even what's in there. But part of the reason, which I sent you guys a screenshot earlier today of why the train was delayed, was there was police activity close to one of the stops that's right by my house. That pushed everything back, even this evening. So that happened in mid-afternoon. I took the 5:23 train and I didn't get home until well after 7. So we started to slow down going through the station or the platform where all of the, stuff happened. But I was not in a great position to see, not the best ideal bird's eye view. I was facing the wrong way. So I went to go look. But have you ever wore a backpack that was probably just a little too heavy and maybe for you? And you bend over to go look, and it takes you down. It took me down. Guys, it took me down.
It's like the hockey move when you pull the shirt.
But not only did it take me down, though, I had to recover and pretend like it didn't happen, but stuff spilled. And I'm wearing a not the longest of dresses today. Here's the good news, though. It has pockets, so I could take over the world, but I could also flash the world with this dress. It was a rough situation. And I'd really I would just forget it didn't happen. I don't know, but I'm going to talk about it now because it's unreal. And here I am. But I didn't get hit by the sunrail in my car. So honestly, in the situation, I'm still winning. And that's your stories from the sunrail.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us for tonight. As always, please connect with us. Just click on that Linktree link in the episode description. Join our Patreon. Check out our merch or check out all of our social media. It's all right there. On behalf of Mary and Chris, I'm Scott. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.